Welcome everybody to the DQLBuddy webinar. I'm here with Sander and Jeroen. They are both the main developers of DQLBuddy. And today we're going to tell you about our new release. It's a very big release with lots of new functionality. And both Jeroen and Sander are going to show you guys what the changes are, what the benefits are, and well, maybe a little bit a sneak preview of the things we're going to do in the future. Sander has a presentation which he's going to share now. During the meeting, I'm going to mute all of you, but feel free to ask any questions. You can ask them in the chat. And if there's time in between, I will ask them to the guys next to me. And otherwise, if there isn't a good time, then I will answer them at the end, or I will answer them through the email or something like that afterwards, after the webinar. But feel free to ask any questions. Just put them in the chat. I will monitor the chat at all times while those guys are busy with giving the demo. Yeah. First, a little bit of an introduction. I think first a bit about ourselves. First, me. I'm Martijn van Doeselaar. I'm the Director of Consultancy Services for Informed Group. I've been working here for a while now. I work with Documentum as well, so I know quite a lot about Documentum. I'm a user of DQLBuddy myself, very happy user of DQLBuddy. But I'm mainly here to support Jeroen and Sander. Jeroen, maybe you can have a short introduction of yourself.
Yes, my name is Jeroen Teling. I'm one of the developers of DQLBuddy. Experiences in working with Documentum since around 2000, so quite some time now. And yeah, happy doing it. So if there's any questions, let me know.
Thank you. Sander?
Yeah, I'm Sander Hendricks. Also, my experience with Documentum is from 1995. So yeah, a few years. And yeah, also a developer of DQLBuddy, because it's a tool that you can use when you work with Documentum, when you do support or issue analysis or development. So yeah, happy building on it.
Okay, thank you. For the people that don't know Informed Group, which I don't think are a lot, but just a short introduction. We are Informed Group, formerly known maybe as Informed Consulting for some of you. We were founded in 2008. Back then with quite a small group of Documentum experts. Both of the guys next to me were part of that, at least in the first year or in the very early stages. And we've grown quite a lot since then. And now we're with a much bigger group than that. But our specialty is still Documentum. We're a large group of Documentum experts. And yeah, still very happy doing consultancy, making solutions, and helping the clients. And well, DQLBuddy started all a few years ago, but Sander, I think, is going to tell you all about the history of DQLBuddy.
No, so
it's going to be Jeroen. Sorry about that. Jeroen is going to tell you all about the history of DQLBuddy. So I'm going to step out now. Enjoy the webinar, and again, if you have any questions, put them in the chat.
Okay, so the history of how DQLBuddy 2 came to be. A lot of years ago, when we were still working with Documentum 4, 5, and 6, there was this tool called DQL Tester. I don't know if any of you know it, but it was kind of the go-to tool if you wanted to do anything with Documentum. And it worked very well, and we were very happy with it. But when version 7 of Documentum came around, the thing was that the way that a client was communicating with the server changed, and DQL tester did not work anymore, and it was also not updated. So come version 7 and later versions of Documentum, DQL tester did not work anymore. The next slide, yes. Okay, so a number of Documentum consultants or developers started to develop their own tool based on DQL tester, but it was kind of a Java version of DQL tester, and it was built on Java 8, and it used the Swing UI components to create the user interface. SWTooly worked well, but at a certain point we needed to expand the functionality of this. And it actually was started by one of our former consultants, I'm sorry to say, Ernst Dijkstra. He started to work with SWTooly, started to expand on it, and rebranded it DQLBuddy. And the thing with the Swing components for the UI was that we needed to code the UI into the program itself. And that makes it very hard to extend it. So we changed to another UI framework, which is called JavaFX. And with Java 8, JavaFX was still part of Java 8. And this worked very well for quite some time. There was the possibility to have a combination of Swing components and JavaFX. And it worked very well, but at a certain point we needed to migrate to a new Java version. And the thing was that with newer Java versions, the combination of Swing and JavaFX didn't work anymore. So we needed to entirely rebuild DQLBuddy from the ground up using JavaFX to create a new version, which is now version 2. And our goal with version 2 of DQLBuddy was to support the most used functionality of DQLBuddy 1, but make it available for using it with later versions of Documentum, so version 16 and version 20 to 24. So we built DQLBuddy upon a new technology, Java 17, JavaFX 21. We're using DFC 22.1 at the moment, and maybe interesting for people who are concerned with security, we also now use Log4j 2 instead of Log4j 1, which was kind of a security risk. DQLBuddy 1 and 2 are both free to use and free to distribute, but comes with a disclaimer. First of all, there's no warranty. If you use DQLBuddy, you use it at your own risk. So yeah, be careful with it because you can really mess up your repository if you don't use it carefully. Second, there is no support, or maybe I should say there's no formal support, meaning that we don't have some formal process when you run into problems with DQLBuddy. We do offer some support, and I will talk about that in the next slide. But it's not formal. And last but not least, there is no roadmap for DQLBuddy 2. So this means that we cannot give you any guarantees or any ETA on when bugs will be fixed or when new functionality will be released. Next slide. Well, talking about support, we do offer some support, which is all based on best efforts. But if you run into any problems with DQLBuddy, you can mail us at dqlbuddy@informedgroup.com. And we also have DQLBuddy by Informed Group on LinkedIn, which we will try to visit a little more frequently. It has been quite dormant, but we will try to respond on any messages or any mails that are sent to us as soon as possible. And well, last but not least, there's the download link. If you want to download DQLBuddy, you can go to the website with this URL, and you can fill in a form, and then you'll receive a download link, and the new version of DQLBuddy is available right now. So go there and download it. This is very briefly the history of DQLBuddy 2. So now let's go on to the demo. Sander, take it away.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going to show the highlights of DQLBuddy. I'm assuming that most people in the webinar have used DQLBuddy, the previous first version, DQLBuddy 1. So I'm not. I'm going to sort of skim over some of the things that haven't changed, and yeah, point out the things that are new in DQLBuddy 2. So let me share my DQLBuddy.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me close this window for a moment. So here we are. This is the start of the when you start. It's interesting for people who don't know DQLBuddy that much. DQLBuddy is distributed as a zip file. You can just expand the zip file anywhere on a PC, and then you double-click the included batch file, and then it'll start Java, and you'll see the application. And it'll start with a connection screen, as is shown on the screen now. It has two tabs, so you can have a list of stored connections, and the other tab has details for the selected connection. In this case, there's one connection that you can specify as default. So I just started DQLBuddy, so it'll show my default connection, and you can enter your the host name for your Documentum environment. You can give the connection a name, specify the repository and the credentials. And there's something new at the bottom there. You can actually specify which tab of DQLBuddy you want to be opened after you log in. So it's like a default tab that you mostly use. For instance, the inbox, or I mostly use the execute DQL. So it'll open DQL screen that I'll show later on. Anyway, you can set it as default. You can also specify whether you consider the doc base that you're connecting to a production environment. And when you do, I'll do that for a moment. And then I can connect. And then you'll see the title bar of the application now shows as orange. So this is a warning that you're now looking at a production environment. So that's new in this version. And it opened my default tab, so the user inbox, which is also one of the new things in DQLBuddy 2. So this was not in DQLBuddy 1, but we thought it would be useful. One of the things that as administrators we sometimes run into is that there's a lot of notifications on for the administrator. And in DQLBuddy, we made it pretty fast to be able to delete some of these notifications. So you can filter, for instance, the filter here on the right top. So we can filter, for instance, for job. So I only get job notifications. Then I can do a multi-select. And then on the right here, I've now selected 1237 notifications. And when I click this icon, they'll just be deleted. So that's very quick and easy. A lot easier than in DA. So there's another tab here in the inbox called tasks. These are your Documentum task notifications. You cannot actually start a task or work with a task from here, because that's really a part of the application that you're using. You can, however, there's a right-click menu where you can copy details of the task or open the task by going to the object details, things like that. I'll talk about the details later.
Maybe it's good to mention that you'll see you see the filter results field on the right. This is something that you will see with a lot of these tables. It's an easy way to filter the results that you see on a specific string you're looking for, which is searched for in all of the columns that are part of the result. That's a very quick way to filter the result that you have, even more if you need that.
Yeah, most tables that you see in DQLBuddy have a filter so that you can use to quickly find what you're looking for.
I have a question from one of the participants. Do you have time for a quick question?
Yeah.
The question is, can the theme be changed?
No, we only have a dark mode at the moment. And well, there's no roadmap for other themes. So yeah, this is it.
Yeah, if we want something like a light theme, then we'll have to convince our UX designer to create it for us. Could be a challenge.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay, on to the next tab then. The repository. So this is the regular repository browser tab. There's a list here of all cabinets, and if you click one, you get on the right side, you get the content. And you can click here on folders to get deeper into the structure. So here, for instance, oh, by the way, we're looking at a test doc base that I use for DQLBuddy development. It has no production data. So the new thing in the repository browser compared to DQLBuddy 1 is that you don't see all cabinets by default. So these are just a few. You don't see any user cabinets here. If you do want to do something with the user cabinet, there's a check mark, show private cabinets. If I select that, then we'll refresh the screen and there's some extra, like Frankie here is a user cabinet we didn't see before. And there's a few others. So by default, this checkbox is off because it's not something that you usually need to be aware of. Again, there's a filter here. If you want to filter your folder content, then a refresh button. Anything, let me see. Most of the functionality of the context menu is also there. There was indeed already one. We made a few changes here. We have one check-in, for instance. So let me find the document. If I check out this document, oh, then I'll go to my notepad. So if I check in now, there used to be 3 options in DQLBuddy 1. We now have those combined in one check-in window. So that's easier. And of course, we can cancel checkout. I think that's most of the changes.
I think that for the check-in window. Ja, dat zagen we niet.
Oh, okay, good to know. Yeah, maybe I should change my share then to my full screen.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, I'll do that.
We have to change the way Sander shares the screen because it doesn't show the pop-up
Pop-up windows, yeah. I've had a few already. Okay, sharing my whole screen now. So I'll try that again. I'll check out the documents. Yes. And now I'm going to check it in.
Yeah.
There's a check-in window.
This
Yay.
is good, right?
Yeah, so this is a combined check-in window. So that's easier to use than what we had before. And then I'll cancel the mention plans. And there's a warning, which you also see yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's most of the changes for the repository. So let's continue to the execute DQL window. You want to talk about this?
Yeah, sure. I think one of the major changes that we did to the executes the DQL window or tab is that we now have we now have code completion.
Oh, yeah.
So if you start typing,
Okay, talk about the history first.
no, I want to talk about the code
Okay,
completion because
there we
I
are.
like that.
Go.
Well, if you start typing in your window, then you will get completion of you get some suggestions for the elements that you want to use in your query. So you don't have to remember all your types, all your attributes, but you now can get some code completion there. That's one of the features that I like. Okay, well, talking about the history, we had this history drop down in version 1, and it's also we started with that in version 2, but it had some technical difficulties. If you have a really long query, then it has a hard time displaying that query. So instead, what we did is we added some browse buttons to the left of the query field, and what you can do there is you can use these buttons to browse through the history of the queries that you have performed in the before. If you are looking for a specific query, you can also click on the little magnify icon. That'll give you a list of all the queries in your history. And once again, you have this filter option where you can start typing and it will filter.
Yeah, I need to find some job. There was something about DM job. Ah, here we are.
So click select. You can select the query, then click select, and it will load the query in your window. Now, some other things that we did in DQLBuddy 1, there was this warning when you had a query without a where clause, and it's good to be warned if you have no where clause that you can potentially retrieve a lot of results, but sometimes you are just sure that you don't want to execute the query without, or if you do want to execute the query without a where clause, and then this warning could be really annoying. So we now have this checkbox just on top of the results, and if you click that, then it will give you the warning.
Oh, it looks like my screen is changing.
Some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the pop-up.
Oh, yeah, there it is. So now you get the warning if you want to execute the query, but you can also uncheck the checkbox, which it is by default. And if you then click your execute button, then it will just execute.
Yeah, I'll try the other new field, the maximum number of results.
Oh, yeah, we also have a maximum number of results, which makes it
Otherwise, my query is going to give me a lot of results.
Yeah. To easily limit the number of results that you want to get returned, you can just mention the number in the little box and entry field, and it will limit the number of results. It will actually create a return top hint in your query to not search for more than the result that you have, the number that you have entered. Once again, on the right side, there's the filter, so you can filter your results easily. And yeah, I think that's basically it. One of the things that we do want to change in a future version is the category of the of your favorite queries, which is now still present on the top of the screen. We want to think of something else, but we're still working on that.
Yeah, there's a whole part here that I don't think many people use. You have categories that you can select, for instance, documents, and then when you select a category, you can select queries, like the standard queries that are packaged with DQLBuddy. And you can actually, there's a manage screen to manage those queries. You can add your own. We don't think many people use that. So we're thinking of replacing that with a feature just to store some favorite queries, like you do storing favorites in a browser. But that's not in this version. That's going to be in a later version.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's,
yeah, on
that's
to
it
the
about
next one. So we're going to the browse ACL.
Yes, I think this one hasn't changed a lot from the ACL browser that was in version 1. So it enables you to search for ACLs and then to manage those ACLs. It also easily makes it you can search for ACLs that are either in use or not in use. It also makes it easy to find ACLs, for instance, that aren't in use and that you maybe want to delete. You click an ACL on the right side, you will see the information of the ACL with all the accessors and where the ACL is used. You can retrieve that by clicking the retrieve. It is in use, yeah. It's used pretty heavily, it seems.
Yeah, if it's used a lot, then this query can take a while, and that's why we created a button, so it's not going to be automatically retrieved.
Oh, a single one.
Yeah, or maybe there's something in your database that causes that to
You can also,
a while.
yeah, you can click the auto retrieve and then it will automatically retrieve.
Yeah, if you do click this checkbox, then it'll automatically retrieve, and then yeah, sometimes you have to wait a bit. So you can choose whether you want that or not.
You can modify the ACL that you have selected. You can create
so
a
just
new,
go on to the modify screen. Yeah.
create a new ACL, or you can copy the ACL you have selected to a new ACL. So it will copy over all the accessors and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the modify screen for ACLs is exactly the same as it was.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So you can add and remove groups or users to give them permissions or extended permissions, etc. It's all the same. Yeah.
Somebody's asking if we can show how the ACL copy works.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so what it does is the one you selected in the left list, and you create a copy of that one, you get the modification screen, so you can modify its name or the permissions that are in it. When you click save, it'll be saved. That's how it works.
You can just give it a new name and then it will make the
the default name will be copy off and then the old name.
Yeah. Okay, that answers this question.
Okay. So that was the ACL browser.
Yeah, was one.
The browser, the object model. I think this was called the type model in the old version. Object type
yeah,
model,
probably,
something like that,
possibly
yeah.
was. This also hasn't changed really a lot from how it was in version 1. So you can select one of the object types, either in the drop down, there's a list of all types. In the list on the left, it's a hierarchy, so you can see which types are subtypes of the other types.
Yeah.
I do think the export model button is new. Am I correct?
Not sure actually. There was.
Yeah, so you can select a type from the list if you know which one you're looking for. or you can just browse the object model hierarchically.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, it's, what I dislike about the hierarchy, I'm always looking for the sys object, because that's where it starts.
Yeah, so I think it's yeah. I think it's enough about this.
Yep. Okay, so on to manage. We can manage groups and users.
Yes, the manage groups tab has changed from what it was in version 1. In version 1, there was a drop down where all the groups were listed, and there was on the left side there was the hierarchy. It's similar to how it is in the object model. We have changed that from there will be a list on the left depending on what you retrieve, and if you click one of the groups in the list, then it will give you two views of that group in the middle. The top one.
Yeah, any group.
So the top one gives you the memberships of the group that you've selected, and the bottom one actually gives you the group hierarchy. So it shows which are the super and subgroups of the group that you have selected. Also, if you select a group on the right, you get the screen that enables you to change the information of the group, or to add or remove users or groups from the group. So I think.
Yeah, I'm just looking for a group that has users actually.
Oh yes. Yes, if you do have a group with users, then and you click a user, maybe yes,
there's a user.
Then it also gives you the option to change the user. But this is the same edit screen that you will see when managing users, but it also gives you the option to change the user and while working with the groups.
Yeah, so we can continue to manage users.
Users, yeah. And the users, you get a list of the users, you click a user.
This one.
You click a user, then you can change the user. There's still an issue here because the save button is hidden now behind the group memberships. But if you pull down the divider between the user info and the groups memberships. Can you try that something?
Yeah, there we are.
Okay, yeah. So now you can see the save and the reset button, so you can change the user. This is one of the issues that's on a known issue list. So
yeah, maybe it's good to mention at this point that the design of DQLBuddy is not really practical, or it wasn't designed on like a small laptop screen. It works best on a bigger screen. So you won't have any issues of hidden buttons and stuff like that.
but that's also one of the issues that we have listed.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we'd like to improve.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess that's basically it about the groups and the users.
So more things to manage. We can manage jobs. The screen has changed a bit from DQLBuddy 1 because we've opted for just having a table with all the details of the jobs just in a square table, instead of having like a details page on the right and a list on the left. Functionality wise, it's been the same. So if you want to activate or deactivate the job, you can do that by double clicking on the it's not check mark, but a switch on the left. You can just click and it will be activated, and click again, it will be deactivated. Furthermore, there's some buttons on the right to run the selected job. to open the job report, or if it's running, you can abort it. There's also the auto refresh here switch. If you do that, then it'll be continually refreshed, and you can see when a job is started, it'll be highlighted in yellow so that you can see that it runs. Also, you can have some status information on the icons on the left here. So if you have a red cross, then something went wrong in the job. If you have a yellow exclamation, then there was a warning. If there's nothing, then the job hasn't run. So I think that's it. There's a filter here. I think that wasn't possible in the old version. No. So if you have trouble with the long list of jobs, you can filter, and then it's easier to find the job that you're interested in. And I think that's it for the jobs.
Yeah.
So on to workflows. This is also mostly the same as it was in DQLBuddy 1. When you select a workflow, then some details will be shown on the top right, which has several tabs. You can see the process variables, the packages, attachments, if any, and most importantly, the error. That is mostly what we're interested in with stack trace and all that, so that you can see what went wrong. The main changes in the process packages, where you can now see the object ID of the component as well as the object ID of the actual package. And in the old version, only one of those two was shown. So yeah, there's different filters here for your workflows, which is which is useful if you have many running workflows. You can filter by who started the workflow, or the object ID of the package, or the workflow ID, if there's one specific workflow that you're looking for. So I think that's all the changes for the workflows in this workflows tab.
Yeah. On to the tools.
Yep. There's a tools menu. First one is the object details. We haven't shown that yet. You can get to the object details in many ways. Most of the tables that show an object ID, they're now in yellow. And you can either double click or right click and select object details to go to the details of the selected object. And the object details tab has lots of different tabs. So the attributes, those were shown as like a text file in DQLBuddy 1, but it's now actually a table. Content-wise, it's the same.
Yeah, the only change is that you can now double click on a row in the table and give you the option to edit that specific field.
Yeah.
If it's editable.
Yeah, so if I want to add a log entry, and double click, and there's a dialog. You need to enter a log entry, for instance. And it just gets updated here so that you can see what was changed.
If you click the keywords, then you can see that you can also enter multiple values.
Yeah, you can enter multiple values. And the current value is what it was. For instance, if I go there again, keywords, now I can remove that one, for instance, update it, all that. So you can change your multi-value fields as well as single value fields. There's the ACL tab where you can see the ACL. You can also click Manage ACL here to go to the ACL change on the screen that we have here, that we already discussed.
Yeah, please note that if you do that, then you will change the ACL itself. So you're not changing the access rights of the object directly, but you're changing the ACL. It means that more objects have this ACL, then you will change it for all those objects.
Yeah.
So maybe in a future release, we'll also make the create the possibility to just change the rights on the object itself. We should create a new ACL.
Okay, on to the locations. Here you can see all the folders that this object is in. If you select one, then the Browse folder button will become available. And you can actually just browse to this folder. So that was one of my main features that I wanted to add in DQLBuddy, to make it easier to do some error finding. Usually when you try to find some error in the documentum data, you go from one object to the next, and then sometimes you want to go to the folder that it's in, and that's now pretty easy. So just open a browser tab, as you can see, and it will go to the folder that the object is in. Well, this is also available on some other types in the context menu. So if I go to the folder again, for instance, I click on something else. Now I can here open a repository browser. It will open a new browser for the selected object. There's something in there. Okay, this is a typical. Now we've got the demo effect. Okay, it's not working, sorry. Anyway, go on with, we continue with the object details. There's the versions tab. It will show all the versions of the object. You can do a checkout, check-in, cancel, checkout from this screen. Yeah, it works the same as that you do check-in, check-out from the repository browser. There's the renditions tab, where you can see all the renditions for the object. So this one only has a PDF. There's a link on the right, the ACS URL. You can actually click the URL to open it in the browser. You can export the rendition if you want to. You can add renditions also from this tab, or delete a rendition unless it's the primary. And you can make a rendition the primary if it's not. So yeah, all the major rendition manipulation can be done from here. And there's the relations tab. There's not a lot of relations here. But yeah, you can't do much with relations except the delete one. So one of the things that we would like to expand on in the future. So do some more, for instance, add a relation to another object here. But that's not in at the moment. Then there's the delete tab. If you want to delete the object, you can select in this version or all versions, include workflows. And then when you click delete, you get a warning if you really want to delete.
If you check the include workflows box, then it will also delete all the workflows that this document is in. So it's the Word document is packaged in the workflow, so be careful with that. But it does work.
Yeah. So finally, create scripts. You can have a script to create this specific document with the same metadata. So that can sometimes be useful. Okay, that's it, I think, for the details.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe we should skip a little faster through the other ones because they're all.
Okay, well, we can combine API script and DQL script. We split those into two separate menu options, but they're basically the same.
As in DQLBuddy 1.
Yeah. So yeah, you can load the script and execute it. And you can you have the option whether you want to ignore any errors or have the script continue when there are errors or not. So that's all the same. The main difference is that you can now have comments in your script. So if a line starts with a hash or with 2 slashes, then it assumes that's a comment and it will just skip that and continue to the next line. So that can be useful for scripts that you're writing. And this is, you can use API scripts here and you can use DQL scripts in the other DQL script, which looks exactly the same, as you can see. Okay, I'll skip over that. XP applications.
Yes, this is a new one. You can select an XCP application from your repository, and then I think you should take one.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one is useful.
There's a lot of
them, but they don't all have. This one. Yeah, there we are.
Yes. So if you select one that has any parameters or endpoints in it, then you get a list of all the parameters and endpoints, and you can actually change those from this tab. So you can click one of them, and it'll show the information in the fields below the table.
Yeah, again, the filter is very useful here because I use this screen a lot, but it's always difficult to find this one parameter that you need to check or need to change. So yeah, you can just filter here on version, for instance, ta-da, there it is.
And if you click it, then it will load all the information in the fields below, and you can change the property value here. It's actually the only thing you can really change.
Yeah.
So there's another tab called bundles. Click that, and you'll get a list of all the bundles in your application. And clicking one of the bundles, you can see the artifacts or the bundle libraries. But can be used.
No libraries.
No libraries in that one. Yes.
Yeah.
But so this is a new one. Can be very useful if you need some information on your XCP application, or you need to change one of your parameters or your endpoints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Consistency fixer.
Yes, this one is basically the same. It was in.
Yeah, that was in DQL one.
So
Yeah.
yes, it's basically the same. It's just that we migrated it to the JavaFX framework. So its information is based on the DM consistency checker job, and we have some fixes for some inconsistencies. Not for all of them, let's say by a long shot, but it can do some interesting stuff. Okay.
There's a recursive export.
Yeah, the recursive export is actually the only one that's it's a pop-up dialog. It enables you to export a folder or a cabinet from the repository to your local file system, and you can use it to. It has the. So you have to select where you want to store your result, but you can export all versions of the documents in there, and you can have export create XMLs that contain the metadata of all the documents and folders that are being exported. So that can be very useful.
Yeah.
Interesting. What we may want to do in a future version is also create an import that can use the result of this export and import it into either another folder in your repository or into another repository. Okay. Last one, I think.
Yeah, the script runner.
Script runner. Script runner is also basically the same as it is in version 1. We've tried to enhance the performance of the script runner by doing some stuff with the logging, but besides that, it's really just the same as it was in DQLBuddy 1.
Okay. Yeah, lastly, I'd like to quickly show the about box. There's a license agreement in the about box. It's not too harsh. It's actually a freeware license, so you can use it freely. What it does contain that could be useful is a contact email and our website, and also a link to the LinkedIn community for DQLBuddy. So if you want for some community support, you can click this and it'll open your browser with the LinkedIn DQLBuddy by form group. So yeah, all the support links that you could need are in the about box.
Okay, so I guess that concludes our demo. Please let us know if you have any questions. Please let us know if you like using it, or if you have any issues or requirements that you would like to see fulfilled. And we will try to do our. I was saying we will try to do our best, which is a kind of we will try to accommodate all requirements and wishes and stuff like that, and fix the bugs that undoubtedly are in there still.
Okay, in the meantime, if anybody has any questions, you can ask them in the chat. You can download the newest version from our website. I will add the link to the chat. But also, if you search on Google for DQLBuddy, you will see the download page there. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna wait a few more seconds to see if anybody has any questions. But I already see a good
recording will be available on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Thanks, Sandra, for that. I'm gonna stop the recording in a few moments, but after that, it will be available for viewing on our YouTube channel in a few days. So if you want to review any of the things we demoed, you can see them on our YouTube channel. Yeah, like the guys already said, if you have any questions or issues, you can always use the email address or use the LinkedIn. Even if it's maybe a simple usage question, we are always happy to answer your questions. Okay, I see some compliments, but I don't see any questions. So I hope everything was clear. I'm going to conclude the webinar now. Thank you all for joining. Also for the people who are watching this on YouTube. Thanks, and let us know what you think.